oh, this is the worst possible thing that could have happened. Because as we know, I love a brooding man with jet black hair with like sarcasm in the holster. This morning, oh my God. Hello? Testing. The call was coming from inside the house. It really was the boogeyman. Surprise, Sydney. Okay, cool. My horror mantras are working. Well, hello, I'm Erica, I'm Maud. Busy morning, got up early, decided to get ready, make it a productive day. We're gonna make jam this morning, that's how we're gonna start the morning. I've been getting a lot of stuff done, and as we know, I've been just super busy. So today is sort of a day I need to get a lot of stuff done. I need, what is happening? I need to get some laundry done. I need to edit last week's video, but it's actually this week's video, because that's how vlogging works. And we're gonna start off though by making some jam. We saw in fall that I made apple butter, and that was awesome. I still have so much apple butter left over though, so this year with the apples I need to make apple butter, applesauce, pie filling. I need to like branch out. But Dad actually, he's like, hey, why don't we make preserves with the berries from the local farms? And so that's what we're doing today. And he already made strawberry preserves, so today I'm making raspberry preserves. You can call it jelly, you can call it jam, whatever you want to call it. I know some people just call it like a fruit spread, whatever it's called. That's what we're making. But you guys have to see these raspberries, they're gorgeous. Like, hi, hello, are you kidding? And it's like big. It's a huge bowl. There's like 6 pints worth of raspberries in here. There's a little wrench in the plans. I am out of fresh honey because we used it all on the strawberry jam that we made. So, I know I need 2 jars because those are 1.5 cups. So like roughly 2 jars of honey for the preserves I'm about to make. And then I'll need 2 more for the blackberry preserves that we're gonna make in a few weeks here when they come into season. Okay, so it's like a self code. I just had to call to let myself in. This is a cute little shop. It looks like it's all prepackaged, which is fine. So I'm gonna shop a little bit and then go from there. So 2688. I have to take a picture of it. What's that? No, it's leaking. Oh, my sensory disorder. I'm gonna freak out. Oh, this is the worst possible thing that could have happened. Oh no. Oh, but it's so good. I'm freaking out. Thank God I have water in here. Try not to have a meltdown on camera if I'm being totally honest. I'm kind of freaking out. The danger of buying honey. Wow, that was really close. I almost lost my cool. I still might. When everybody's like, sensory disorders aren't that serious. Send them this video. I almost had a meltdown. Jesus. It's so good. Let's go to Target. I think we last left off a few days ago when I was canning the raspberry jam. It's delicious. It turned out fantastic. But I need to go to Target because I'm out of my moisturizer. I read Acotar. I think I'm gonna give a full review later tonight. I have started A Court of Mist and Fury, and it is so good. I won't put spoilers, but what I will say is in Acotar, I was such a Rhysand girl. I keep calling him Rhysand, I don't care. Because as we know, I love a brooding man with jet black hair with like sarcasm in the holster. My absolute type. Again, if he was like 5'6", 5'7", perfection. I'm moving through the series pretty quick. I do love it. This series couldn't have come at a better time if I'm being totally honest with you, because this week has been wild. Oh, I have to show you guys my new espresso machine. My espresso machine exploded. Not kidding. The Chef Man that I bought last year was acting kind of funny for a couple days. Like I would turn it on in the morning, let it warm itself up, you know, dial in, and then I'd press the double for a double shot of espresso, and it would like pause and blink for a minute and then work. I was like, okay, well that's a little bit weird. And then it was acting fine. Woke up the other morning, hit double. Immediately, out of every orifice of this machine, steam came out. And so I immediately unplugged it. But there was like a dent at the top, so whatever pump or something was in there hit up. It hit up in the machine and it broke it. And I was like, well, I can call the company and be like, I want a replacement or I want it fixed, blah, blah, blah. But do I really want a machine in my home that just explodes. I don't. So I bought a new one. I bought the Casa Brews. You guys are gonna see it when we get back. But yeah, it's been a very interesting week. Inadvertently got myself a new espresso machine for my birthday, so happy birthday to me. Should I have gotten a cart? Like probably, but it's too late now. Okay, so I did some as slices, obviously, and then I did some as spears. We have a lot more cucumbers coming in, so I made 2 of slices and spears with jalapenos, and then I did another set with just peppercorns, dill, and garlic, and then I did one that is just dill and garlic because I kind of want to see how they turn out. The thing about like pickles and stuff is they have a bunch of different recipes for them, so it's kind of whatever spices you want. There's one with banana peppers, so that when the next batch comes in, I'm gonna make some with that, and then I'm just gonna focus on dill, but like we used fresh dill from the garden. But the last thing I want to get into before my book review is my new espresso machine. I spilled coffee this morning. I don't want to talk about it, but I love this little Casa Brews espresso machine. Steam wand over here, froth your own milk. So overall, I'd recommend it so far, honestly. If something changes, I'll let you know, but I love it. All right, let's go talk about fairies. Okay, so this is like the setup of the century. I love this thing. A little quick tour of this because it is at Target still if you want it. I've been posting it everywhere and I said it's in the dollar section at Target, but it has a little cup holder and then it has a cup and mug holder, which is what this little thing is here, is to hold like a mug handle so that your mug fits into it for your hot lattes and stuff, but this fits the bottom of my 40 ounce. It is my favorite thing in the world, and it's like, it's cheap, but it's a solid like kind of memory foam pillow, like kind of sturdy. So Acotar, I finished it. I am still reading the series slowly but surely. I like was trying to push through it so much, and when I don't listen to it on Audible, because my issue was I started a physical copy with annotations, and now in my little neurodivergent brain it's like you can't listen to the audiobook because you gotta annotate just as much as you did for the first 3. I know that there's no rules, but my mind's like you can't do it, so I've been reading that book physically. But I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. Took me about a week to get through with audiobooks and on my Kindle. I do have annotations, so I'm gonna edit here at some point. I would give just A Court of Thorns and Roses itself, let's say it was like a standalone, even though it's obviously not, I have to get through the series. What I think I'm gonna do is once I get through the entire series, I'm gonna do a full in-depth series review with complete spoilers. I think that that's gonna be the move. So there's not really gonna be any spoilers in this review of it, but I think I'm gonna do that. But if I had to rate this book just as a standalone, I'd give it a 3.7, which I think is fair. I'm hesitant to say a 4 just because it was kind of predictable. Like I said, my best friends are reading it and we've been texting about it, and we were all like, this is kind of slow moving. I'm kind of getting bored. Like, you're very bored for the first half of this book because it's a lot of just repetitive shit. I will say it does have interesting characters, which is what kept me hooked. And you guys know me, I love like fantasy books like Fourth Wing, Iron Flame. I am all about like ogres and fairies and dragons and creatures. Like, it's my vibe, right? And same goes for like movies in that way. But it was very much, like I said, just adult Beauty and the Beast and very boring at the beginning. The ending was great. The last 150 pages had my jaw on the floor the whole time, which is what I was expecting from the whole book. And I know that that's not fair to look at something and be like, chapter 1, my jaw dropped. Like, that's not realistic for most books, right? But with this, it got to like chapter 23. I was like, is anything gonna happen? Or is she just gonna like be in this castle? Like I said before in the car, I love a brooding man with jet black hair and sarcasm ready to go. I love it. So of course Rhysand is my favorite. Tamlin's okay. He was, you know, nice enough, and I think it was a cute, sweet little romance, but it just like, it wasn't giving the enemies to lovers like normal enemies to lovers gives. It seemed like he didn't view her as an enemy, he just viewed her as like, he was indifferent towards her mostly, and she was mostly which I get, but it wasn't giving the enemies to lovers that everybody hyped it up to be. So I think that's why it sits there at a 3.7. Still fantastic ending. Again, the last 150 pages, my favorite part of the book. It was the most interesting. But I think we really saw how smart Farah is and how cunning she can be. Overall, was this like the worst fantasy book I've ever read? No. If this was a standalone book, I think I would give it a 2.3. But because I know it's a series, it gets a 3.7 because I'm like, okay, obviously this is just a lot of world building. Obviously the tea can't happen yet because we need to know where any of the tea is stemming from, so it needs to be in detail, right? I get that. Now I have started A Court of Mist and Fury, like I said earlier. Right, so again, without giving anything really away, everything that I thought about like Tamlin and the Spring Court in this book and had a sneaking suspicion about, right. So that's where I'm kind of at. And I will say, if you're reading this book and you're like kind of bored, like I was, tea right off the bat. Chapter like 4, you're knee deep in tea. I think she definitely took some notes of like, okay, people are getting bored. People want more, quicker, sooner. People want these types of interactions quicker. People want the drama and they want a try and true enemies to lovers type. So I am excited to see where this book goes. And then I'm sure I'll be on to the next book within the next few weeks here. Big fan, do love it. That is the review of Acotar and the beginning of A Court of Mist and Fury. Again, really enjoying it. I'm going to continue to go and enjoy it for the rest of the day. I can already tell you, like, is it the best fantasy series I've ever read? No. Is it good though? If you're like a fantasy gal and you want to read about like mythical creatures, yeah, totally. But as of right now, 1.5-ish books in, I would recommend this series for sure. But I think that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.